Welcome to Quack&Co, the board game channel where every video is 10 minutes or less guaranteed, so you don't have long to hit that subscribe button down below. And today, we're talking about Seas of Havoc from Rock Manor Games, which is coming to Kickstarter near you. Link, as always, in the top of the video description. Now, the object of this game is really a head-to-head squabble here on the ocean front. You're going to be one of various pirates doing your best to position, tactically upgrade your ship or your hand of cards, and then sail around this archipelago or this little island reef, firing your cannons, bashing into other players, and doing your very best to be the person who takes the least amount of damage by the end of the game. This is a head-to-head, take-that skirmish-style game with a little bit of worker placement, some hand management, and a lot of sort of naval combat happening here in the center. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how the game plays and talk about the best and worst elements of it so you can make a decision if this is going to be the game that you want to add to your gaming collection. So, in Seas of Havoc, you're going to start with, well, your character. You each have your own personal character board and your varied characters with their own unique cards and abilities. These will be special actions or traits that give them a skill on the sea and make every ship customizable and unique. You're also going to have your standard hand of cards. Now, these are going to be matching with every player, and they have simple movement, turning, and firing abilities. Don't worry, this hand gets upgraded throughout the course of the game. You also have a place to go ahead and load in your resources, such as your cannons that you'll be utilizing to load and fire off at other players. At the very start of the game, you're going to start with a worker placement phase where you take your 3 skiffs and start maneuvering around the board, gathering items or weapons, wheels to allow you to steer your ship a little bit more effectively, cannons to fire off at other players, trashing cards, picking up cards from the marketplace up top here, and of course upgrading, leveling up, and selecting one of various pirate flags to hoist your sails with and unlock more special abilities. After you've gone through the worker placement phase of the game, you're going to draw up a set of cards from your deck, which will slowly ebb and flow throughout the course of play, and then you'll engage in some naval combat here in the center. You'll be playing a series of cards from your hand that allow you to maneuver, turn, fire cannons, or bash into your opponents, with the main objective of the game being to hit and slowly instill a variety of damage cards into your opponent's hand, making their hand a little bit more muddled, them a little bit more effective at sailing on the seas, and also, well, driving endgame. For every player count, there's going to be a certain number of damage cards that have to come out into the party in order for the game to come to an end, and then you'll determine who the winner is based off how effective they have been at damaging everyone else and avoiding damage themselves. So the game's going to continue moving back and forth from the worker placement, leveling up your deck, gaining resources, to smashing each other here in the center. Now, like I said, every player has their own custom abilities based on the pirate that they chose. But along with that, every card that we have up here in the marketplace is going to have more advanced movement and firing abilities and capabilities, and also be tied to one of various 4 different flags that you could hoist. These flags will give you an immediate benefit and immediate resource, but also unlock extra abilities on every card. For instance, if you're hoisting the blue flag here, you have the blue sailor's flag action. You may take another turn immediately, and so on and so forth. These cards allow you to chain, manipulate, and take more powerful actions throughout the course of the game, and every now and then you'll find that you're able to sail down a reef, turn 90 degrees, fire your cannons, bash into someone in front of you, and just wreak havoc across the board. So, let's talk about the best and worst parts of Seas of Havoc, so you can decide if this is one that you want to add to your collection. Well, if you like head-to-head skirmish-style games, this is a unique twist on that genre. Here you're doing naval combat, and it really does, at times, feel like you're sailing the high seas. Playing unique cards, utilizing fun abilities can lead to moments that feel really good on the game table. You can legitimately bash into other sailors or fire a cannon that strikes through 2 holes at the same time. And I've had moments where the cards that I played from my hand were some of, like, the greatest little bits of moments I could come up with. But, on the other side of that, after I played all those cards from my hand, there were definitely times where I just felt like I was more of a duck in water than an awesome pirate ship sailing across the open sea. You see, as you play through and utilize your actions, you could get stuck, not really being able to maneuver out of the way, not being able to fire your cannons while someone else bashes into your side, and you end up taking a pile of damage, which throughout the game, while your deck escalates through the actions that you take, you also get damage in your deck, which means that you start getting, well, more muddled. It can be turn after turn where you get less and less efficient hands, and then every now and then you get to do something awesome. But the combination of building your deck with the take that element can make this game, for some game groups, a bit of a feel-bad environment. Now, when it comes to the customized actions and the special player powers, I did find that they added a bit of diversity and interest into the game-playing aesthetic. It was fun to take out different sailors and figure out how their cards worked and paired together, and the marketplace does have a lot of powerful cards that are a joy to bring into your hand. Now, the push and pull of that, however, is that this is a really tight worker placement environment. There's usually not a lot of open spaces, and you have to make a decision between what 1, 2, or 3 things you want before other players go for them. Are you getting a flag or stealing it from another player? Are you going to be the only person that levels up your card this turn? Or are you going to trash cards from your hand to make everything a little bit more efficient? There's a give and take here, which might not be perfectly balanced if you're not focused on the skirmish side. This has worker placement elements, but it's not the core function of the game. Instead, they're sort of a lever in order to get you to the deck building and kind of the skirmish on the open seas ability. So, if you're looking for a fun take-that helter-skelter game that allows you to be a pirate from time to time and has some cool cards and cool custom abilities for each character, Seas of Havoc might be one you want to look into. That being said, if you want something a little bit more focused on the worker placement, or, for instance, more focused on strategic card play that is reactionary to what your opponents do, this one might not quite fit the bill. It's a back and forth, a give and take, of firing cannons and smashing into each other's holes, and if that's what you want on the game table, that's what you're going to get. So, thank you for watching. I believe that's been my time, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.